afterwards.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's see, is it recording? It still says it's custom streaming live. So I don't know where it's streaming it, but it's streaming it somewhere.
It's on Twitter. It's on
Twitter.
Tweet it out.
Okay, because I started drinking 2 hours ago, so this isn't good.
Welcome, everyone.
Yes.
Oh, welcome.
Yes. Welcome.
Another edition of Wine and Whiskey Wednesday with the Hot Ninjas.
There you go.
Sorry, we started late. Cheers, everyone.
I was innocent until this.
We're bad influence, are we?
Yes.
Yeah. My apologies that for those of you that are watching it on Facebook later, I couldn't get the live streaming working. So we decided to just start drinking and post it afterwards.
Okay.
So next time, you actually need to join in on the Zoom so you don't miss the phone call and the great conversation.
Yeah.
So we thought that since there is so much negative news that's out there, and I'm sure if you're like me, your head is probably feeling like it's going to explode and that you couldn't possibly do another run through of reading those words about the 75% eligible subsidy and all the acronyms, the
Yes.
CERB, and I'm sure that you're also probably being bombarded by clients. So we thought that we would start out with something positive, since there's enough stuff that's out there that's negative
I'm
nowadays.
so glad I don't have to deal with that. I got a lot of you guys. I give you a lot of credit because it changes so often, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about.
It is.
So
It's moving really
Right
fast.
away.
leave it to the professionals.
So what we want to start with is I would like everyone to think about a win that they have had over the last week that they would like to share. It can be a personal win, a professional win, doesn't really matter. It can be anything that made you feel good or made you, and I'm just going to mute Ross. Anything that made you feel good, anything positive. We're looking for a win over the last week. Is there anyone that would like to start? Steve will start. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
My win was Juliet is opening her pool next week.
Hey, that's mine. You can't take mine.
You just stole it.
And why is that a win for you, Steve, that I'm opening the pool?
Because
Okay.
I've been in isolation with you for the last 3 weeks.
Yes, and I have been going stir crazy. I absolutely have.
And plus, I knew that was.
I'll give you that's a win for you as well. Okay, anyone else like to share a win?
I almost got a new client. And in this day and age, that's awesome because nobody's spending anything right now.
Yeah, I think that's
they want to come to the cloud. They really do. And right now it's a situation where the controller's working on the CEO and he wants to, but just looking for that perfect time. But it feels good. I've had a really good rapport with them. It was a referral from Lisa Channel. So it's a client in BC. So yeah, it's in this environment, it feels good just to have some activity because things are pretty quiet for me right now.
Excellent. Thank you. Christian, you had a win.
I think from a personal standpoint, our renovations are almost finished. So we actually have a kitchen counter and running water in the kitchen. So
you can wash your hands.
So yeah, we had a sink upstairs, but we had no laundry and no laundry tub and no water downstairs for about 2 weeks. So it was first world problem as far as things go, but the pain trying to wash a soup pot in a kitchen basin.
Yes.
So, and also having the mindset at work, even though like there's all sorts of calls coming in and people are panicking, and being able to sit there and say, you know what, this is short term. It's not going to be months and months and months. It's going to be maybe another 6 weeks. Maybe 8, maybe 6. And I try to say it positively. Wuhan,
I like the way you did that. You just kind of quickly go through it and don't give him a number.
Yeah, something like
give
that.
Him a few.
But
what did he say?
Just to remind people that it's not the bankruptcy time for most people. It's just a pause and just to go through there and say, you know what, like this is just kind of something that we have to weather and get through it. And then as we're processing the taxes or everything else, seeing the people relieved because they're getting refunds back, or even if they have to pay tax. But we're in this retirement community, so there's lots of people with the RIFs and the OASs and everything else. And just feeling like, in a weird way, I'm doing a ton more advising right now than I normally would be. Like even advising on things like don't panic and pull out your RSP money, dip into your line of credit, because it's better to pay 8% over a year or 7-6 over a year than to take a 30% hit on your RSPs right now.
Okay, so we want to stay off the coronavirus topic.
Oh, I was just tax planning, that's all.
And tax planning.
Tax
There's
planning.
so much out there already that everybody is talking about. Okay, who else would like to share a win?
It's not really a win. It's just, well, it is. It's just funny because I have a client that I go to every single month and work there, and I have for 6 years. And so now we're in isolation. So they said, well, we still want to make sure you're working. So they're giving me everything remotely, and I'm going to go on remotely. But the funny thing was when I worked there, because there's 2 companies, there's the husband and wife, and I work next to the wife. And so we talk the whole time I'm working, okay? So I said, but I can't do this unless you send me a picture so it can sit beside me and I can talk to you the whole time I'm working, because, you know, I just can't work without talking all day with you because I'm always alone, right? So it's kind of like an inside joke with them that even the one time the wife had to leave to work out of town, so the husband was on her computer, and his wife actually called him and said, you have to talk to her because she's lonely. And it was so funny. So now they both sent me pictures as well as sending me the remote link, et cetera, so I can talk to them while I'm working.
Very nice.
Remotely.
That's a great win.
Anyway, it was. It was funny.
I
Okay.
decided to learn to play guitar because I'm in isolation. Why not?
That's
And it's made more funny by the fact that my siblings are musicians. My brother is actually like that's what he. So he's like, okay. So my goal is we go camping, and my goal is to, because they're always strumming. All my brothers and my sisters, they're always strumming their guitars or doing whatever. So my goal is around the campfire this summer, I want to be able to strum like a country song with a beer around a campfire with a guitar. That is my goal. So
Very
I
awesome.
tried to learn the E chord yesterday. I'm like, oh, my fingers. So, but that is what I'm doing while in isolation.
Sweet.
That's very
Awesome.
exciting.
You got to get those calluses.
Oh man, my fingers, like I couldn't believe it. I had like these indents. I'm like, this hurts. I like,
Absolutely.
either way, I'll come out of this experience much more respectful of my brother's ability to play. That's for sure.
That's great.
Very cool.
That's great.
Okay. Anyone else like to share a win from the last week? Afsana, you're muted, so unmute yourself first.
Hi, everyone. You know, in the midst of all these confusion and stress, I feel so overwhelmed, first of all, like the rest of us.
Win. We need a win.
Yes, I'm getting to it. So one of my clients that there was no way that I can move them into like clouds, now asking me like, do it, like we can't
Do it anyways.
like this. Yes.
Absolutely.
So,
Sweet.
so that's a big win.
That's nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, I wonder if Intuit is behind and Xero is behind this whole coronavirus thing.
It's just a big conspiracy, right? To sell
Yes, to
licenses.
get people to move to the
I
cloud.
was wondering that too.
Or
Zoom.
Receipt Bank. You know how many more clients I put on Receipt Bank the past?
I'm just saying, it was just a thought. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyone else like to share a win? There are lots of people still that haven't shared a win. Come on, guys.
What about all the people that haven't logged in? They're just lurking out there, spying on us. Carrie
Yeah.
and Beverly and Sarah and
Tiffany, I'm going to put you on
Katrina.
the spot. I'm actually going to call out on people if you're not going to volunteer.
Do
Tiffany,
it.
a win from the last week.
I knew you'd pick me.
I'm starting in the top corner. You logged in at the beginning, so.
I got to have some really great conversations with clients. There's a lot more connection that's going on just because you need to assuage their fears. So lots of really great conversations.
Very cool. Excellent.
And what is your win, Juliet?
I usually
was
go
the
last.
pool.
I usually go at the end. Well, you took my win, which was my pool.
No, no.
There you go, Steve.
I don't get to use
We
that?
already knew Juliet's win because she's been going on about her pool already.
Something different.
So I shouldn't have let you go first, is what you're saying. Okay, so I guess then I will spin it around. And a win for me is that Steve's dream of having a podcast is finally coming true, that we recorded our first podcast yesterday.
Well, actually we did.
Well, okay, yeah, so, well, no, but we did. We recorded it. It didn't record. We only got 7 minutes out of the entire interview, but it was still a win. But it's moving. He's been talking about this podcast for what?
I know, since you told me in San Jose. I've been waiting for it.
4 years he's been talking about it.
Oh, it's 4 years.
So it's now finally becoming reality. So that's a win.
Cool.
Well, and the win is that the guest is so understanding
that he's doing it again.
We attempt it again tomorrow morning. So hopefully this time I'll hit the record button and it will stay recording.
Yeah, it was strange. So it recorded the first 7 minutes, and then it recorded the last 7 minutes, and it missed everything in the middle. So
what's going to be the name of the podcast?
Juliet, would you like to share?
I can take the name, no problem. The name of the podcast is Smart Man, Smarter Woman.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Smart
Yeah.
Man, Smarter Woman.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Now
Discriminatory.
Some people may think we're being a little egotistical when we say that, but everything, you got to keep everything, relative, right? There's that saying, like dumber than a rock or dumber than a post. I believe I am smarter than that rock. Smart
But
man.
what about that post?
I'm not so sure about that one.
What about that sack of hammers?
But the whole theme of it is going to be, it's podcasts for entrepreneurs. So it's really for anyone who is an entrepreneur, is thinking of becoming an entrepreneur, is thinking of stop being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And so we're bringing in guests from within our industry, but also lots of guests from outside of our industry who are all have their own entrepreneurial journey.
Well, there are a lot of podcasts already out there, so we need to do something.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
That's cool.
That's great.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yes, we will be launching in May.
Do we have a date now? Okay. I
We
just
have-
my calendar is just full of recording stuff.
Yeah,
I made the mistake of saying to Steve, I don't have any meetings, and so he's filled up my calendar. Okay, there's my win. We did our first recording. Jacqueline, your win for the last week.
I got to sleep 8 hours on Sunday.
I did that last night.
That is a win.
I've been so busy filing ROEs, can't get in. I get up at like 2 a.m. to do it.
Mhm.
And I've got lots of
Done that.
on Monday I had clients calling me left, right, and I need line 101 from my 2018. So I've been doing all that stuff till late at night. So Sunday was my relaxed day.
Excellent. That's awesome. That is definitely a win. Sleep is so important. Okay. Diane, your win for the week.
Oh, wow. Well, I've had a couple, but I guess the biggest one is that we've set the date for the very first Trifold Bookkeepers course that's going to run on May 19th. It starts and runs through to August. So that was really exciting to launch that.
So tell us what that is.
So,
what it is.
Oh, okay. So Trifold Bookkeeper Advisors was started, Marge Wagwin Debris and Shelley Regater and myself started it about 8 months or so ago now, just before the IPBC conference. And what we want to do is teach bookkeeping. So we're not teaching software. We're not teaching apps. It's really fundamental bookkeeping for that new person that is, wanting to make money on the side or improve their skills because maybe they didn't actually have any official real training in bookkeeping. They kind of fell into it and would like to do that. So it's back to basic bookkeeping fundamentals. and it's an online course, instructor-led, live
Very cool.
for
Isn't
12,
that just a 2-hour
12
course?
weeks.
Like,
Pardon me?
isn't that just a 2-hour course? How to learn
No,
bookkeeping?
no, it's not actually.
Okay, so Christian, I can't boot you out, okay?
Yeah, it's a really in-depth bookkeeping course.
Diane, where can people go if they want more information?
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve. It is trifoldbka.ca, which is our website, and
Perfect.
all of the details about the course and what it entails and how to kind of get signed up and all that stuff is right there. So
I
that's
will,
really
I
exciting.
will make sure that goes in the notes for the video when I put it on YouTube.
Thank
And
you
just-
very much. Yeah.
Just so you know, I was being facetious because I teach a college bookkeeping course, and I realize it's about a 10-month course from beginning to end. It's a huge amount of work, but when they come out, they know their stuff inside out.
Exactly, and that's the goal. I mean, you guys know me. I'm all about actually providing the small business community out there with good qualified bookkeepers.
Yep.
And I think that there's
And May 19th?
Pardon me?
Awesome.
May 19th?
Sorry. Who said
May 19th was what?
May 19th is the date it starts. So
Very
you
cool.
need to get registered beforehand. But yeah,
Very cool.
it's online, instructor led, and live.
Very cool.
As it happens. Yeah.
Excellent.
I
Okay.
just want to say that the
Ross.
scotch is kicking in, and I love Tiffany's eyes when I say some shit. They just get this funny little look about them.
Okay, Ross, your win for the week.
Oh, my win for the week. Okay. Let's see. Well, I started putting some time back in my stamp collection.
Awesome.
Yes. Strangely enough, I'm actually inventorying it. Okay. Can't get out of accounting. It's getting inventoried and entered into a program just in case stuff. I also had a really good conversation with, I don't know if some of you saw a posting I made earlier this week about a client that loves commingling. I got a couple months ago, and I'm trying to clean it up right now. And it went from a catch up to a clean up. And we're getting through it. And I had a lovely conversation with his accountant a couple days ago. And from the conversation we had, the accountant doesn't do any bookkeeping. They had some of their CPAs doing it, but they didn't even know you could close out the books on QuickBooks. So he's like, okay, showed him how to do that. But in the conversation I had with the accountant, it's a possibility of some leads in the future after this, because they don't have bookkeepers or anybody that does any bookkeeping for them. Excellent. And they have people that come for tax, and it's like, oh, I don't have any books. So they end up doing it, and some of you guys know what accountants charge per hour.
Yeah.
So actually, I know what accountants charge per hour too, because I've known way too many over the years myself. So it's awesome. So it's the lead, and plus there's a nonprofit I'm dealing with right now that I'm going to get dragged back into Account Edge again. A friend of mine does it. I hate, as you know, one of my main clients on Account Edge. It's a desktop client. I have to go down there. I'm probably going down there next week to deal with a few things. But he said, well, I want you to look at the books because it's not balancing. And he's got, his year end was March, like all nonprofits. And so I need to look at something because I'm not getting it. So he's hired me to do a couple hours of work, and I just started looking into it. I said, oh, well, what? He told me the date that the book started, and went, okay. So why am I seeing 3 months of transactions before the date the book started on QuickBooks? And he said, what? I went, yeah, there's 3 months. I said, we need to see, does you have the original trial balance, closing trial balance? I said, yeah. He says, in the office. I said, okay, fine. Can you get it? He says, I don't know how to get it. I went, okay, what software was it on? And he said, Account Edge. And I just groaned. It's like, oh my God, you're going to drag me into this. I said, yep, because I need somebody who can open it up and get the trial balance. So I have to go downtown. So by the same day, I go down to the parties and deal with a couple of HST issues there. Make it a one-day trip because I don't want to travel on the TTC too often.
No, absolutely not. Stay at home. Stay at home.
I have my N95 mask.
Okay.
Actually,
who hasn't given a win yet?
Beverly hasn't.
Beverly.
I haven't yet. No.
You need a win. A win for the last week. Personal, professional, it doesn't matter.
Well, I have a little bit of everything. I'm really excited because I'm getting chickens in the backyard again, so I'm super happy about that. For me, that's personally a win. Other part being is that external accountant for one of my clients has begun to appreciate what my skill set actually is and has decided that I actually do know my shit as opposed to not.
Very cool. Well, it is going to be interesting on the other side of this, what the perception is that changes of our clients of us. You're either going to move up in their minds, or you're probably going to lose them. I think it's one extreme or the other. So it will be interesting to see. Now, Carrie, I know you don't have video. I don't know if you have audio. You did share your win in the chat. So if you don't have audio, I'm happy to share it. But if you do, then come on. Okay, so I don't think she has, because she hasn't unmuted herself. So Carrie's.
Oh, not my audio, sorry.
Oh, did she say that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carrie's win is that some of her diehard paper people are succumbing to submitting info electronically. So it is interesting as to how many of them said, no, I have no interest in ever doing it that way. Now would like to get you to receive everything that way. So that's awesome. Okay. So, so I think everybody has done their win. So we're at 8:30. So Steve, you had again, we're trying to keep, there's enough people that are out there that are talking about what all the government subsidies are, what we need to do for our clients to add value, what we need to do in this crisis situation. So we want tonight to not be about any of that. So Steve had a topic that he would like to, I'll pass it on to you, Steve.
I did?
You did.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think just what Juliet said, that we all, our brains are being inundated with information, questions, changes in policies that seem to change by the hour. And all I hear and see is, people being just overwhelmed and their brain turning to mush as they're trying to make sense out of all of this. Yes, and I happen to be married to one of them. Love you, dear. And so I thought
that sounded really weird, didn't it?
So I said, why don't we talk about something that might be kind of an interesting conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with accounting, bookkeeping, our industry, or even what is going on in the world. So we, maybe for the next 20 minutes, can be in our own little world. And so my topic was that each person they don't have to defend it, they don't have to explain it, but they're certainly, they certainly can if they like. What is the best album ever?
Album, CD, whatever you want to call it.
Way too many.
Only one?
Well, we may allow two, but no more than two.
Best album ever.
Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Okay.
Okay, so not Dark Side of the Moon. We're going with
The Wall, beginning to end. I know every lyric. They used to have it on the liner notes. They had all the lyrics there. And my buddy and I used to put headphones on and we'd study that.
All right, so we got one vote for The Wall, and Brett was pretty adamant about that. I mean,
and he was pretty.
I've got some others that are completely
no,
different.
you didn't seem like you were torn at all. I mean, that just.
No,
yep.
If I could only have one album, that would keep me interested.
I'm torn. I love Meatloaf.
That's a good one. Bat Out of Hell.
Yeah, and Boney M. They're tied.
Is that like Rasputin? Rasputin? Oh my God!
Okay, that's two extremes.
Artists, aren't they artists? They're not.
Yeah, their albums. I don't know what the name of the album.
You're cheating. You're cheating.
I don't know the name of the album.
Sorry.
Oh,
okay,
Google it.
So, well, can we go with that?
Okay, I got to Google at the same time here.
We go
Okay.
Bat Out of
Yeah.
Hell.
So Tanya said Bat Out of Hell, and then Boney M, you didn't know the name of it, but the one that has Ross Eaton on it, right?
Although the Christmas
Greatest
album is
hits.
good too.
I actually
Boney M,
had the
greatest
Christmas
hits.
album. I actually had that Christmas album.
There's a Boney M Christmas album?
Yes, there's a Boney M Christmas album.
Christmas album? Okay, I don't believe that.
I used to have it.
There's
I
a
used to
Christmas
have it.
album for
Carrie
everything.
has posted her album, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Deja Vu
Nice.
That's a good choice.
is her all-time favorite. Okay, anyone else? All-time favorite album?
Moody Blues, Days of Futures Past.
Nice.
Okay.
Styx, Paradise Theater.
Nice.
Okay, we're
I used to
going-
have the. I
Oh,
used to
some
have the.
oldies. Lots of oldies here.
Well,
Yeah.
hello. What's the mean age of the group?
Well, what do they call us? Boomers, right?
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay.
Tiffany, what's your favorite album?
Oh, come on. You must have had the answer prepared if you came up with the question.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I've actually been debating it within my own brain for the last couple of hours because I was having a heck of a time trying to get it down to one. I would say, for me, I would say probably Dark Side of the Moon.
That's a good one.
Okay. So not a U2 album or
Pink Floyd's pretty awesome.
or no?
With me, it was a toss-up between Styx and, strange enough, the very first album I remember hearing as a child, Yellow Brick Road, Elton John.
Oh, yes, that's a great album.
That was the
I was
very
a
first
huge
album I
Elton fan.
remember. That was
Yes. That's
like
a classic.
my babies. I used
Chicago
to.
17.
That's a good one.
Led Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of love. That's on Led Zeppelin 2 or 4. Steve,
Oh,
remember?
gosh, I don't know.
It's on one of those. They numbered them early on.
Okay, so
I have to go
mine
through and
is
start looking at
completely
different albums. Try to
generation
think of
here.
songs.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear yours.
And I actually had to think about this because I like songs from albums as opposed to like
Your favorite
albums.
45.
Yeah, I mean, I could give you a favorite song, but if I had to go album start to finish, it's actually Sam Smith, The Thrill of It All, which
Ooh.
is completely different generation.
Okay. So not Adele.
No, if I could only listen to one, then it would be Sam Smith.
Okay.
Brad, I heard you say favorite 45, and I ran back in. I'm like, Tainted Love from Soft Cell.
Nice.
Tainted Love, good.
I used to spend my allowance on 45s.
I
That's what I bought.
totally.
Oh, we
Instead
all
of candy,
did.
I bought
We
music.
all did.
Okay.
Oh, I got candy too.
Favorite album.
Hockey cards.
We can
I
do
think if
I
I
have
had,
your favorite album.
I have
if I
one.
had one to choose, because I love music and I love all sorts of songs, and I was trying to think which album would have most of the songs, it would be Tragically Hip, Fully Complete.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, it's got Weak
Look at
Kings.
these choices. Yes.
Yeah, it's got Courage, Wheat Kings. I have to actually look to see what's all on there. 50 Mission Cap. It's got a ton of good stuff on there.
Yeah, that's one of those albums you just put on, you hit play, and you
Yeah.
might play it again. The Red Hot Chili Peppers have an album like that. I used to listen to it over and over again.
Yeah.
Very
Same
cool.
thing.
Diane, you had one.
I do have one. I don't know if anybody will know it though. So it's Billie Holiday's Lady Sings the Blues.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I do
Heard of
recognize that
Billie
one.
Holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a real Billie Holiday fan.
So you are a fan of great vocals.
Yes.
Suzanne, you haven't shared
Yeah, what's that,
yours?
Suzanne?
So
Yeah,
you
country.
Guitar,
It's a
you
country
find
song with
out
guitar.
your favorite
I
song?
say Garth Brooks. Are people going to mock me?
No.
That's all right. I live in Calgary.
No, I like
Not bad.
country.
I love
Actually, I
her.
don't really
Love
know.
country.
I don't. If you look at my thing, I have teenagers at home, so they fill our house with rap and Eminem, and we have all that stuff going on. And then I grew up in country, and then
So
my
did I.
husband loves the '80s. He's a Pink Floyd, lots of hip going on YouTube. So yeah, I would definitely say we are a definitely mixed family. So
But it's
choosing an
you.
album-
It's not your family. What music do you like to listen to?
If you only had one album,
when I'm in my mode, it's because of this month too. I like that angry girl, little Alanis Morissette kind of.
Oh, yeah, Jagged Little Pill.
Good choice.
And ironic.
That was a classic album.
So, yeah, that was a good
Jagged
album.
Little Pill.
Yes,
Jagged Little
yeah.
Pill.
That was a really good album. There's a lot of songs on there that I like.
That's a good
Go
one.
from Garth Brooks to Alanis Morissette.
Isn't it ironic?
Isn't it ironic?
It all depends on the mood.
It really does. This
Yeah.
month should definitely not be a Garth Brooks kind of month.
Mhm.
So,
And or Pat Benatar, hit me with your best shot.
yeah.
What about you, Beverly?
Sorry?
Beverly?
What doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Sorry, now I'm like,
Would you like to share?
little Kelly Clarkson there.
I don't know that I have. I don't know that I have a favorite song that I would listen to over and over and over again.
Okay.
So I can't really say to that one. I generally,
Let alone a whole album.
yeah, I
Okay.
generally go through a whole album and basically it just goes in loops.
Okay, no problem. Afsana, would you like to share yours?
Sure. Chris de Borg,
Okay.
The Word,
Very good.
and
Remember Chris de Burgh?
Michael Bublé, Christmas Holiday.
Awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Chris de Burgh in a while.
No.
And
Lady
He did
in
it
Red.
for a while. After that last album, he kind of started doing other things, like his socialist and humanitarian activities and that kind of thing. So I think he's busy with doing other things.
Okay.
Yep. Very good.
Jacqueline.
Can't tell you. I have no idea. Are you? It's usually songs, and it's
Okay.
mostly country. So
Okay.
I don't really have an album that just jumps out at me.
No.
Okay.
Tiffany.
I'm not really married to any albums. I'm not really married to any genre of music. I just listen to whatever is there. It's usually background noise for me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Is that everybody? Did everybody share theirs? Did I miss anybody?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Was there any others in the chat that we haven't mentioned?
Yeah. Crosby,
Well,
Stills,
there's
and
no
Nash.
chat because we're not
Oh,
live on
Crosby, Stills,
Facebook.
Nash and
Oh,
Young,
right,
yes.
right. Why is that again?
I can see Carrie though. Crosby,
Facebook
Stills,
broke
and
it.
Nash and Young.
Yeah, we did mention
Yes.
Carrie's.
Carrie's is in Zoom though.
Yeah.
Jen,
Oh, okay.
we're not on Facebook Live because I couldn't get the stream connected. So I'm recording it. If you'll see in the corner, I'm actually recording it though for a change.
I see that. That's really good.
And then we can put it on Facebook Live. Or put it on Facebook Live after the fact.
Okay.
But
Diane, did you notice that Carrie has asked you to provide a link to that course you were talking about?
I did. Thanks very much.
so once,
Yeah.
so Diane, once I post this on Facebook, put your link on Facebook because the Zoom
Okay.
chat will disappear.
Yes.
And
Correct.
so at least it'll stay in the Facebook when I post.
Okay. Thank you. I will do that. That's wonderful. Thanks a lot.
Okay. All right. Steve, did you have a second part to your question?
I did not.
You did not. Okay.
Second favorite album.
Kidding. People had songs though. So do we want to, how about movies? How about your favorite movie of all time?
I just answered that one. Shawshank.
Oh, yeah.
Shawshank Redemption. I just love that show. I can watch it again and again and always love it. And there's an accountant in it, right?
I like Usual Suspects.
That's not why I like it.
Anyone else? So for Carrie, it's Life is Beautiful.
I like
You
The
know
Usual
what? My
Suspects.
movie is the same, actually. It's Diana Ross plays Billie Holiday in Lady Sings the Blues.
There you go.
There's a theme.
Okay.
I can see a theme.
Favorite
going.
book. The
Okay.
book adapt.
Thanks, Brad, for letting me post on your group.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. Anyone else? Favorite movie?
Titanic? Mamma Mia?
Good
Very
one.
apt.
Yep.
I liked it more than I thought I would.
Don't throw up, Ross.
I'm not going to throw up. I'm just thinking it's kind of it's apropos right now. Ooh.
Anyone else? Favorite movie?
I'm going to throw a vote because Brad stole Shawshank, which was going to be mine. I'll throw a vote out there because I think it has an awesome soundtrack. Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, I've never seen it.
I don't think I've seen it either.
No.
Is that Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yep.
Yes.
And
Okay, I think I did see it.
there's a song in there called The Gale, which is a pretty awesome piece of music.
Nice. Is it on Netflix?
Anyone else hear my dog snoring in the background? That's all I can hear. I can just hear him snoring in the background. Okay.
He's had a rough week too.
How many walks did you take him on?
Yeah, no, it's not the 20 walks or anything like that. He had a bone today, which he was laying in the backyard, and that.
Ooh, coma.
My
Okay,
dog
any
is
other favorite movies?
It's a hard one to decide upon because, well, actually, at night I've been watching a lot of movies.
Okay, so I'll go. So mine probably, and I'm not a big movie buff, as Steve can probably attest. I mean, he'll say, "Well, do you want to watch this?" And yeah, we can watch it if you want. And if we've watched it before, I will not remember that I've seen it before because I don't remember movies. So probably the only movie that I may have watched more than once voluntarily is The Princess Bride. I love The Princess Bride.
That one's funny.
See, that's why I love it.
I liked it more than I thought I would. I thought, oh, come on, it's a Princess Bride. What is this? Some girl flick or something? It's hilarious.
That's why I love watching movies with you, because you forget we've seen them, and I like watching them over and over, so we can keep seeing the same movie, and you don't even know you've seen it before.
Yeah,
and it's a win-win for both of us.
Yeah. I like some of the James Bond movies, but again, I don't remember if I've seen it before. But yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Favorite movie?
Oh, okay. Actually, for me, it's going to have to be a toss-up between two.
Okay.
It's Philadelphia.
Okay, good movie.
And Call Me by Your Name.
No, that
I don't know that one.
It's an Academy Award winner from a couple years ago.
Okay.
I don't know.
Who's in it, or is it a?
Oh, can't remember who's in it now. Okay, the guy that's one of the stars in it. He also played in the remake of. Oh, good God! One of the spy movies. Oh, one of the spy TV shows.
Sean Connery. I don't know.
No. Modern. This.
Okay.
Oh, good God! I have to Google it now.
Okay.
It's fairly new. It was just a couple of years ago, last year, that won the Oscar. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it last year or the year before?
My name.
Or the year before. Lost track of time, Ross.
Have you seen it, Steve? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't ring a bell, and I mean,
But you like watch all the Academy Award-winning things.
Yeah, I did watch 1917 last night. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. It's not your typical war movie. There's not lots of violence and blood and gore. It's just a really good movie.
And it's all subtitled, right?
No, they actually was from an Italian book.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, I was looking that up. Yeah, it was Italian originally. It was made in English. Army Hammer was one of the stars.
So you're talking about the movie that you mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the one Steve mentioned. I'm getting confused.
I was looking it up, and I guess I lost the conversation.
Okay,
That's okay. That's okay.
That's fine.
No subtitles in 1917. Unless they were, and they just weren't working on my TV.
Oh, because I went to watch it on the weekend, but we couldn't find one that wasn't subtitled.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So it's on Netflix, right?
No, it's on pay-per-view, I think.
Ah, okay. That's probably why.
Okay.
I love Pride and Prejudice, Keira Knightley.
Yep.
That's one of my
I haven't
favorites.
seen that one yet.
Yeah, I can watch that one over and over
again. Get Steve to watch.
Yeah.
Wait, are you a Downton Abbey fan too?
Yeah, I watch those all too. Yeah.
I like
and then I
Downton
also
Abbey.
love pretty much the whole Marvel world. You know, there's better movies than others, but that's a family affair that we go to. We enjoy those ones. And then we like the whole sci-fi thing too. So but Pride and Prejudice, if I'm like, that's probably that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
I will have to watch that. Okay.
Very cool.
Sense and Sensibility, the old one with Hugh Grant too. That was
Yes, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Favorite movie? Jacqueline, do you have a favorite movie? You didn't have a favorite song. Do you have a favorite movie?
Oh, the last movie I saw was Good Morning Vietnam. So how long was that? other than the Disney flicks as my kid grew up. So.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It
Okay.
is.
Tiffany, you have a favorite movie?
You're not going to tell us that's background noise as well, are you?
Yeah, but I'm like Juliet. I watch it and I forget it.
I figured that her eyes look like a deer in a headlight. What?
The last one I watched was Pandemic.
Oh, we saw that. Right? That was the one that we watched, wasn't it?
That's a good one, actually.
It's when we're living.
It was
Isn't it what
like,
we live?
why am I watching this? I'm living it right now.
That's what we're living, Tiffany. You didn't need to watch
It
it.
was really too familiar. It was scary how familiar.
It was like they just predicted what's happening.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
that one with Morgan Freeman? What was that one called? There's a Morgan Freeman
Oh,
one.
Contagious?
Yeah.
Contagious? It was
Something like that.
contagious.
Everybody's watching right now.
Contagion.
Contagion,
That one
yes.
was a good one too.
Morgan Freeman wasn't in Contagion.
No, that was a
No,
different
what
one.
was
It was
it?
the one with Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think he was in Pandemic, wasn't he?
See, that's gonna bug me.
Again, I don't remember them after I watched them.
Which is
I
the
don't
one that we
either.
watched that had all the subtitles that won the Academy Awards? Was that not Pandemic? Steve?
That was Parasite.
Parasite. I knew it started with a P. They're all saying.
Outbreak. It was Outbreak.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same premise.
It's called Outbreak. Yeah. It was a good. It was.
That was it. Yeah, that was a good
Outbreak. That was what it was called.
Outbreak.
That was a good one.
Outbreak was with
My husband's actually an
Dustin Hoffman,
epidemiologist
right?
by training, so it's
Oh, is he?
so he always enjoys those type of
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
how is he adapting to everything that's going on? Is he working?
he is crazy working. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely busy, but it's
Yeah. Probably gives you a different perspective.
It does from a healthcare perspective, right? And so he's actually filled out those applications to volunteer because they're taking a whole bunch of. So they've asked for people with this kind of thing to volunteer. So he's done he's done that too, filled in all those. So we'll see if that gets called back. But yeah, it's a different, completely different world again. I'm coming up from an entrepreneur kind of business kind of thing. He's coming from a global company kind of aspect. So it's quite different, the perspectives.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Has everyone shared their favorite movie?
Yeah.
Christian, did you share yours?
I like different genres and all sorts of stuff. So I'm kind of like Suzanne, where I like sci-fi and I like the Marvel universe. But the go-to for me all the time, well, not anymore because I'm married. So, but the go-to for a number of years, the Guy Breakup movie was Swingers for me.
That was a good one.
Swingers, yeah.
I remember that
Never
one.
saw it.
Your money,
Never
baby,
saw it.
your money. And it was,
Okay, and where is your other half?
she went home to start with dinner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
so
I
she
guess-
just texted me saying that dinner's ready, so I've got to go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very cool.
Actually, talk
Sorry,
about
I'm
a
choosing to go. I'm
win.
choosing to go.
Talk about a win. My husband's home and he's cooking dinner every night. So that's
Awesome.
pretty big.
Nice.
win. Yes,
Actually,
exactly.
almost every single night I cook dinner. I'm the cook at the house. But tonight she's taking care of it because I was on air. So cool.
Very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, Steve is the cook in our family. I
She's,
rarely.
gonna cook, she's cooking something from McDonald's. So
Perfect.
yeah, she just texted me saying, "What do I want?" I'm like, "I don't know." Okay.
Yeah.
I said, "Defrost
Surprise
some
me.
chicken." Defrost some chicken, I guess, means McDonald's.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Excellent.
perfect. So have a good week, everybody.
Yes.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Me,
See you, Chris.
I'll
me
finish
too.
off.
Hi,
I'm being told dinner's ready, so I have to go too.
Okay. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
And-
Bye.
Ciao.
Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes left before we sign off for another hectic week. And my room seems to be getting darker, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, my lights are the same.
Well,
as
nighttime.
It seems to be getting darker here. Just in comparison to everybody else, it just seems like my room is getting darker. Okay, and Carrie is heading out as well. So do we need to just end off a couple minutes early? Steve, do you have an amazing quote for us to end off?
Well, I believe it is an amazing quote. I don't know if everyone else will. It is one of my favorite Winston Churchill quotes, but it's also one that you don't hear very often. And it is, you will never reach your destination if you stop. Hang on, hold that thought.
You lost your quote.
Was part of it.
No. You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks.
Why would anybody throw stones at any dog?
You got to think about that one. You got to think about
That's a good
that
one.
It's a good
It means
one.
ignore the yappy dog and keep going.
It's a good one. There's lots of yappy dogs out there, and you got to ignore them.
They don't yap around me. I'm called the dog whisperer in my apartment building.
There
They
you
stop barking with me. I don't know why they bark at other people. They see me, they shut up.
There you go.
Very cool.
Unfortunately, I'm missing being able to pet them. I'm really missing being able to pet them.
Yeah, so I guess I don't have to experience that. My dog has just been my shadow because I'm not usually home all the time.
No.
And so he's been pretty much just living on that bed as I've worked. So I've spent a lot of time with my dog this week. Okay.
Jasmine keeps trying to take over my desk.
All right, so we'll end off a couple minutes early. Thank you all so very much for joining us. I hope that we're able to keep your mind off of everything for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Have a drink. Cheers.
And
Cheers.
See you, everyone.
This week.
Stay safe, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You as well.